Today's my birthday, as I had mentioned, so I believe I'm going to be celebrating with craft dinner.
It's not something Vancouver Mount Pleasant MLA Melanie Mark would typically choose as her celebration dinner. But because of the Welfare Food Challenge, her birthday dinner is quite restrictive.
It's now 1:40, and I have eaten a bowl of cereal with 2% milk. So I'll be rationing this throughout the week.
Mark is participating in the Welfare Food Challenge, which means for the next week, she has less than $3 a day to spend on groceries. The challenge was started 5 years ago by Raise the Rates Vancouver, a coalition of community groups that are advocating for an increase in welfare.
We know that the pressure is building. 78% of British Columbians want a poverty reduction plan, which includes raising welfare.
According to Raise the Rates Vancouver, 82% of welfare checks goes to rent, while 6% goes to personal hygiene products and a cell phone.
No vegetables, no fruit. It's all starches, all carbs, and we know how it's just not a healthy diet that people are forced to live on.
And while the challenge only lasts a week for Melanie Mark, it remains an everyday reality to those who rely on welfare to get by. For Mark and Raise the Rates Vancouver, they hope this is the final year of the Welfare Food Challenge. Frances Lee in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
No, you can just go over to the address bar and take down, okay. Down I can.
Just like everyone, Lorraine wants to take a good selfie.
Ta-da!
But like many others in her position, using a touchscreen device can be challenging.
I wanted to do computers, and I didn't know how to do computers because I didn't know the technology.
It's taken almost 5 years to develop the lip sync. It allows the user to not only take selfies, but to use their iPads or iPhones.
What's unique about this compared to some of the other assistive mouth-controlled input options is the controls are all right here in the head device. All the circuitry, all the controls, all electronics right here in the device, which makes it unique. A lot of them have external mount things that need to be plugged into the wall. So that's the real differentiating factor. Everything else here is just different mounting options. This can all change.
The Neil Squire Society is spearheading the project.
It's projected to be about 1 million people in the United States and Canada. They don't have that sort of access. So it becomes yet another divide that further marginalizes people with disabilities.
So a keyboard should show up now.
Just last month, the Society acquired a grant to help advance the lip sync so that it could be used by the public.
The Google grants can help us in terms of updating it and then releasing it open source so other communities can make use of the technology.
The lip sync's designers wanted to ensure it was highly user-friendly and quite different from other devices out there.
You can use this, but some other devices are more specific to your ability.
Chad hopes to have the lip sync out by the end of summer.
It can be made locally in the 3D on 3D printers.
As for Lorraine, the summer can't come soon enough.
Everybody does Facebook, yeah, and I like sermons going onto YouTube.
Frances Lee in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine. Physical exercise may seem like the normal path to rehabilitation after open heart surgery. But according to one North Vancouver councillor, mental health recovery is just as important.
The frightening and sobering statistics are that up to 45% of patients post-cardiac surgery or post-cardiac event will experience depression.
At the Lionsgate Cardiac Rehab Program, Catherine educates patients on psychological recovery.
Why is there so much focus on physical recovery and nutrition and not that much about emotional and psychological recovery?
According to staff and past patients, there is a need for emotional therapy for post-cardiac surgery patients. It's just the matter of funding.
Most of this program is funded by me personally. It's very hard to get provincial funding for things like this.
Oh, pretty good.
There's gaps in the system that are often met by private donors. Also, the hospitals or the centers that do a lot of the surgery, they get the funding. The money follows kind of where there's the highest density of patients and interventions.
But Catherine isn't going to let funding stand in her way.
I think that the future is like what we're doing here, integrated healthcare. so that we're tending to the needs of the emotional, psychological, physical, and social needs of people.
Frances Lee in North Vancouver for BCIT Magazine. Playing for people with brain injuries sounds like an unlikely concert. Yet for Ranj Singh, it's nothing short of his best performance ever.
When we first started out, a lot of the folks were sitting back and not really paying attention and not wanting to be part of it. As we started playing more, they came forward and the toes started tapping and they were smiling and singing along.
Ranj has been playing for people with brain injuries for almost a year now at Semiahmoo House Society in Surrey. It's part of the weekly acquired brain injury program, and Ranj has become the recurring guest.
If you see the room when Ranj plays, everybody comes together as one.
Everyone, including ABI program participant Alice, whose real name cannot be used. Alice sings along to every one of his songs, including those she's never heard before.
I love singing. Well, I always did love my music too. I had every record I think that was ever produced.
Sandy, along with others, have inspired Ranj. So much so, he wrote I'm Still Me, a song dedicated to the Semiahmoo ABI participants.
The common theme amongst everybody was that I am still me. I'm still the same person I've always been inside. It's just people keep shutting the door on us, and they keep thinking that we're disabled to a point where we can't even communicate properly.
Ranj, like all the staff, believes that music truly heals, taking them to a place they've never forgotten.
To reflect back on their lives and have memories that jump into their heads about where they were when they heard that song.
And Ranj continues to inspire and be inspired by the folks at Semiahmoo House Society. Frances Lee in Surrey for BCIT Magazine. Hello and welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Frances Lee. A city worker has died after an accident in Vancouver's Connaught Park. The worker was in a boom-mounted bucket elevated off the ground when a tree limb fell and pinned the worker inside. Every Thanksgiving, the Union Gospel Mission serves thousands of turkey dinners to hungry Vancouverites. Sotheby's says the 9.5-carat ring will be auctioned off April 19th in New York. It has been estimated worth of between $25 and $35 million. $35 million, I can afford that.
You can pay for some parking at BCIT.
According to recent research by Active Aging BC, seniors are not getting enough exercise. A new program in the province hopes to get seniors moving. My co-anchor Amy Quinton has more. Finally, in entertainment news, Harry Potter readers have long wanted to know why the boy wizard named one of his children Severus. Yes, Langley RCMP believe that at least 5 people are being held hostage right behind me at Fred's Auto Parts.
And now we go live to Frances Lee in Langley. Frances, what is the importance of the NAG Games?
Yes, thanks, Jordan. So the importance of the NAG Games is that it celebrates Aboriginal youth and culture and unity, and it also is used as a stepping stone for kids to pursue athletic dreams of being in the Olympics, as well as some kids also compare it to the Olympics.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, are the kids having fun?
Well, it looks like the kids are actually having a lot of fun. I saw a lot of bullseyes out there, so I'm really excited to see the end of the game. Back to you, Jordan.
Thank you, Frances.
The loonie is at its lowest in 13 years. I asked Vancouverites how this will affect their spending habits. According to staff and past patients, there is a need for emotional therapy for post-cardiac surgery patients. It's just the matter of funding. Although Lee is pioneering for more female presence in the back of house, she admits it's work ethic that always is the deciding factor. According to Raise the Rates Vancouver, 82% of welfare checks goes to rent, while 6% goes to personal hygiene products and a cell phone. The recent success of the pre-screening of the Angry Birds film, the tickets are actually sold out. So it looks like the Frames Film Project will receive their funding after all. Frances Lee in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.